Well, hello and welcome, everyone. This is Robert Schein, Managing Director and Partner at Blanke Schein Wealth Management, located here in Palm Desert, California. And Happy New Year to everyone out there. Today's Friday Insights topic, we're going to talk about wealth within families. I'm going to give you 5 tips based upon our years of experience here collectively at Blanke Schein Wealth Management that we see as we counsel our families, wealth within family, as well as tips within just educating the next generation or even several generations below you for financial independence. So let's get to the Friday Insights edition. Thanks for watching. Let's discuss wealth within families. I'm starting the year off with this topic for my Friday Insights, as I believe as a reaction and being proactive in terms of advice for all of our clients out there, friends and family, of what we can do to look into the future. Now, keep in mind what's happening right now with all the central banks printing money, Federal Reserve, as well as government spending as a reaction to the crisis that we've had in a global pandemic. We are creating fiscal deficits, right? Long into the future. So now we're thinking about our kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids in many cases. That being said, the one way we can sort of get ahead of this right now is to start the conversation today about wealth within families and talking about the future impact, right? So the United States today is robbing the future for everyone tomorrow. So what we can do, what I do in the Schein household, is have those conversations on the kitchen table because I can control what's in my little world as it relates to my children. I implore you to do the same. And let's be honest, my parents and future generations before me didn't foster this type of conversation. So the way I get out ahead of it personally, my wife and I, is to foster the kitchen table conversation. So the first out of the gate is talk about money within the family. Again, generations before me, my parents, my dad was very traditional in the family, coming over from Europe in 1953 through Ellis Island as an immigrant. So kitchen table conversations really didn't foster too much conversation within the family about money. It wasn't until I went to high school and then college in terms of my degrees where I was introduced. I personally was passionate about finance. So I went down that path. But let's be honest, majority of Americans don't get an education in finance, if you will. So for the most part, it starts at home. It starts at grandma and grandpa, or even friends and family having those conversations. So have those conversations and foster those. And if you don't know where to start, there's plenty of podcasts out there that are free, accessible. I would just let's get in a car ride together, or even send a text or an email to someone that you know, somebody that you care about, as it relates to a great podcast to start the conversation there. Both listen to it together, whether you're together or separate, whatever it happens to be. Technology is really keeping us connected wherever we are. Let's be honest about that. So that's a good way to start. And then you have that follow-up conversation and say, hey, listen, what are your thoughts about this? There's no right or wrong answer. Just get the ball rolling and start the conversation within the family right now. Now, boost smart money habits. In the Schein household, we have something called Green Light. And it's a debit card which mom and dad, so I, on an app on my phone, I have 4 debit cards for my children. And I have a savings ability, I have a spend ability, and I have a charitable giving ability. Green Light, I encourage you, go to that website. It is fantastic. If you have kids or grandkids or great-grandkids, you can set them up with their own debit card that you can add money to, but also create smart money habits. You also, for my kids, I set up a chore schedule. And what's great about that is that they get money, and then once they earn money for their chores on an automatic, it's all automated. So you can just constantly give them their allowance of the week. You could push pause if you want to. You can add a bonus if they did something fantastic, an extraordinary job around the house. And then more importantly, they have control of what bucket they put it in. Their spending account, their savings account, and then their charitable giving account. We'll talk more about that a little bit. But it's a wonderful tool to create smart money habits. It's called Green Light, and you'll see it out there. It's just a wonderful resource for us to teach our next generation smart money habits. Set savings goals. So as I mentioned, you can also set up savings goals. Well, the kids today, they want video games or even clothes, when they go shopping, my teenage daughters. We set up savings goals. So once you do your chores or you accomplish this or you save, then you can. I mean, it's the it's helping the children of today and the great-grandchildren of today and the grandchildren, if you will, that the instant gratification of what social media teaches, there's also something called delayed gratification. In fact, that's the best thing. I remember saving for a video game system when I was a kid, and I had to put it away on layaway. Remember that? I think they're bringing that back, actually. A lot of financial institutions are reintroducing layaway, and they're calling it something different, but I'm reading that in the financial journals. Anyway, regardless, is that it's delaying the instant gratification, and it's creating these smart money habits, and also setting savings goals along the way. These are all very important to create the next generation of financial independence. Again, it starts with communication and talking about money. Teach your children and grandchildren about money, so about investing itself. We at Blanke Schein Wealth Management come in and we bridge that gap. One of the reasons why we have Wealth Within Families is that we create we have also a resource for everyone out there. If you want one, we've got this great book, and it talks about building trust, communication, harmony within families, and preparing the next generation for wealth. There's a lot of information here in this resource. It's free to you. We're happy to send it to you if you're interested. About conversations you can start about not only the investing side. We come in on the investing side. Oftentimes, grandma and grandpa will set up an account for a great-grandchild or a grandchild and say, hey, listen, talk to Rick or Rob, and we'll take it over from there. So all you have to do is send our team the instructions saying, hey, we've got a grandchild that wants or we want to introduce them to investing. We can open the account up. We can make the outreach. We can fund the account. We'll do all that paperwork for you and make certain that it happens. But more importantly, we'll start the communication on our side as it relates to the investing approach, right? And then more importantly, the kids today, they're fantastic investors. Trust me, they're more involved than you would ever think than other generations. We're seeing it on our side here on a daily basis. Why? What we start with is what you're excited about. Is there something that you spend money on? Just look around you. It's the old Peter Lynch mentality of going to the shopping mall, when the days where we could go to the shopping mall, and look around you and see what's important to you and where the traffic is, and channel checks, as they call it in the investment world, and where the interest is, especially what the trends are with the teens these days. I oftentimes get some great advice or some insights in terms of investing with my teenagers on a daily basis. So I'm always paying attention to that. So teenagers can be great investors. We're seeing it on a daily basis here at Blanke Schein Wealth Management. And finally, also having and fostering that conversation about exploring the charitable giving. At the end of the year, we just finished last year, and we had a kitchen table conversation with the Blanke Schein, the Schein household, and we talk about the mom and dad are going to donate to our charities of choice, but we're also going to match a donation for our children. And so each one of our children in our household, from Taylor, Brooke, Ashley, and Jack, are required to present to mom and dad what their charity of choice is. And then they present to us at a little formal ceremony. They do some research. They have their mission statement as to their convictions as to why it's important to them. And then we, as parents, will then fund what's important to them as well. We're creating a structure, a framework of values. We're creating a structure of independent and critical thinking. And also, more importantly, thinking outside yourselves personally, right? That's the most important, to think about the next generation. So we talked about a lot today, wealth within families and creating healthy money habits. Start the conversation. Most importantly, start anywhere. There's a lot of also social media handles, starting with Blanke Schein Wealth Management. On a daily basis, we will give you updates, as I said before, so you could always encourage them to follow us here at Blanke Schein Wealth Management. So that's our insight today. That's our first Friday Insights of 2021. I want to start a positive sort of kickoff to the new year of healthy money habits. And so that's why we start off with wealth within families. It's a big topic we have a conversation with our clients on a daily basis. So thank you for watching. Enjoy your weekend. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you again next week.